Well, hello everybody. It's me again. I'm back for part two of this little mini series on a tournament I played last Thursday night. Managed to survive this far. Been going for about 2.5 hours. Not doing too badly. Uh, let's let's see. Well, I said not doing too badly. I'm kind of chipped down a little bit here now. You can see there's my red line. My red line. It was going along quite nicely here, up and away, and then down, and kind of sort of hit the rocks. And now not going so well. So let's see. Pick this up now. See, I mean, actually in 70th place out of 85. That gives you a pretty good indication. So we're actually in the money, but it's a bounty tournament. So if you min cash, which all these people down here, including me, if I remain in 70th place, you're not even going to get your money back if you don't get any bounties. And now I've got no bounties. It's under 7,000 in chips, and the blinds are already almost coming up to 350 and 700. So I just limp in with this. Just want to see a flop with it. I mean, I think just folding here would be okay too, but just want to see a flop. Done a lot of that. I'm kind of ideologically opposed to open limping. I don't do it in any other games, but like ever. So, I mean, in the small blind maybe, But here anyway, I've got a pair, middle pair. I've got the nut low, which is my biggest asset here. Also have a backdoor flush draw. That's what I've got. Don't have any counterfeit protection for my low. I'm kind of, but here I hit my low though. I do have, could make a straight here. So then I just decide to get it all in here. Also still have a pair. So my high's not very good, but I do have the nut low, and I do not want an ace or deuce to come on the river. I felt that just trying to take this down right here would be helpful, but what actually happens? San Miguel calls me. So as I've got mate Denosps as orange, which means he's a good player, but then I decided to change that. Luckily, the low is still out there, so hopefully, worst, I could get quartered or fractionated here, but we end up splitting, and I get half of a three-way pot, which is always nice. Now I've got good aces here, no low. That's the real negative. It's double suited. I've got a king. Nine's not doing anything, but apart from that, it does provide that second flush draw. I decided to just get the money in here. You want as few people in here as possible. You'd like to go heads up. If not, to just take it down. But somebody is probably going to call this bet. At least one of these people is probably going to. Oh no, I actually take it down. I didn't expect that. So a little bit further on, again, I'm down to under 8,000. I'm sort of struggling a little bit to get any momentum. 56 out of 61. Bottom six. Bottom six. Let's decide to max this out again. I'm not messing around now. I don't have enough chips. He calls me. And here, I've actually got a flop pretty well here. Got two straight draws rather. I did actually have the advantage on the flop. We end up splitting it. I get the low, he gets the high, and on we go. Don't have a great hand here, but it's got something going for it. The right sort of flop, and that could pay off for me. So I actually just want to see a flop here if it's all possible, and a high flop preferably. But now, because he pots that on the button, I'm going to have to just let that go. That's the only way to play this. I mean, had I had ace king jack 3 or something, then that would have been a totally different matter. Now I've got a really good hand here. It does lack, if I had more chips, I probably just want to try and see a flop with it, but I can't mess around here. I've just got to go with something. Actually, here I've got a low draw. I've got two pair. Got to go with it here. Gotta just can't mess around. 86%. 91%, 100%. Fantastic. I get a double up. My aces and fours are enough to give me the highs. This mate to Nosp. So notice I've taken him away from orange when I've seen how he's played. He's actually just playing way too many hands. Look at Tiger Dicing, how he had 6,000 not that long ago. He's now got a big stack. Hanging on in there, 39th out of 56. Oh, and make to Nosps. Scoops that big pot. God, it's like, how did he manage that? Jeebus! I tried to add into the add something into the incredulity of the whole thing. It's like, I think they recognise this guy's actually not very good. I fold this. I think I'd have raised it up myself, but unfortunately it gets raised before me. Now this hand I don't really have anything. I've got that. This is a stinker, honestly. It's a terrible hand. Let's see what happens though. It's not only the hands that I'm involved in that are interesting. So I'm climbing up the leaderboard. I'm 42nd place now out of 54. 50. I think there's a payout jump at 53, but again these payouts are tiny anyway. I was thinking, you know, 747, so flying to the turn now. What's that going to bring? Oh, so here I am, 44th now out of 54. I haven't got it. But anyway, see the turn, we see the river, and mate Nosps having had a huge stack. Succumbs. And he gets, you see, only gets $1.94. I think he was the very last player to not get at least his original payout back. Did he get some bounties as well, though? He might have done. Now I've got two pair. I'm going to just go with this now. If he's got a set, well, so be it. Go with this two. I have a flush draw two now. A straight flush draw, actually. And I get this as well. I actually, yeah. So now up to 26,000. So I'm so suddenly from nowhere, I'm kind of almost in the middle of the pack now. Now I'm kind of in business all of a sudden. I get to see this flop too. It's already 10:38, so we've been going for a little while now. 3 hours, over 3 hours. Right, got it. That's not a bad flop for me. What do I want to do? I decided to check it, just try and see a nice turn card. Maybe I needed to just to bet something on here. So if the flush card comes, they're not just going to think, oh, he's got a flush. It's almost like the things I don't have much of a low. I've only got the second nut backdoor low draw with four-way, so I can't make a straight either. But here we go though. Here is now. It's just a fantastic card. I only bet 40%. Got the second nut low and the nut flush. What do they all do? They all fold. I think that's why I needed to bet the flop, because that suddenly looks very suspicious, doesn't it? I think I needed to bet the flop there. So Bokamon's got a tiny stack there. Decide to see a flop here. Now I decide to not see a flop. Or do I? No, I call. Ooh, I call. Ah, because Juan Big Nuts has got so few chips. Oh, so I want to see the turn card now too, and then I don't because of that raise there. So unfortunately that costs me a little bit. Oh, and Juan Big Nuts is a bit of a bad beat there. He hits the set of aces on the river there. He only had 30% equity on the turn, ends up winning, and I think that springboards him into, you know, a very nice position a bit later on. So anyway, didn't flop well here. I quickly let it go. Look at Tiger dicing now. Whoa, got a monster stack. Don't have a whole lot going on here. 29th out of 38. So again, I'm in the bottom half, bottom quarter basically. Oh, that's a really interesting flop, isn't it? So I've now got, I decide to bet this. I've got all sorts of straight possibilities here. I have a flush draw. And he folds. Ooh, did I want to fold there? Now look at this. So Juan Big Nuts is sitting out now. Tiger Dicing is even sitting out. And you've just come back from a break that finished at 11. It's 2 minutes past 11. Now, do I get any more money in here? I'm sure I do. Oh, Juan Big Nuts has just come back. Get a little bit more money in here. We go three-way. And that's just a terrible flop. That's just an awful flop. Happens though. Can't always get what you want. Who said that? Whoa. Very happy to get out of the way here. Oh. And snicked. I don't know what he was playing at there, honestly. Don't know what he was playing at. So 36 left now. So they're dropping like flies. They're not not dropping that quickly. So I see this flop here. Now I see how I've dropped right down to stack them on now. But look at this. I've got the nut. I decide to check this. This is my plan to check raise all in. That's what I want to do on this flop. Knowing that I might lose. Oh, this time I've got a call here. Need to get something here. I could lose everything here. I'm aware of that. That's a bad turn card. Now relying on a good river card, a spade. I need a spade or well, I'm dead now, aren't I? I must be dead because right. So now you bet small on the river, but I must be dead here. My high's hopeless. And then I look, and then suddenly it's like, well, come on, think about how this played out. All I have here is the king, and I'm thinking. He folds, which surprised me too. So when I see him flip over that hand, I'm thinking, well, hang on a sec. He doesn't have, trips or two. Oh, hang on a sec. Don't I win this? Don't I win this pot? Things if if like the 9 of spades had come or something, I would have lost that, So it took me a while to figure out that I'd actually won. So that was handy. He just gets that side pot, and I get that lovely main pot here, which I thought that was the end of me. I really thought that was the end of me. Well, I'm still amazed I won that. But I carry on somehow. I want to get some. I just again aces with bad side cards. It's happened again here. I'm lucky to get all these aces, but they can turn to dust very quickly. Now I've now got a set of aces, but I don't know what to do here really. Haven't got a low possibility. It's a flush out there. I call here and I want to bloat up. I really want to bloat up. That's what I'm aiming for here. And now he just check raised, and I'm just going to fold. I think it's the only way to play this. Wanting to bloat up. For probably half the pot. My low's so bad. So again, wow. What's going on here? They split it up. So look what they had. Now, did I have ace 4? So look what they had there. You had the 2-3 for the nut low. You had the nut flush. Yeah. Now I've got a good hand here. It's not fantastic, but it is, especially in the position I'm in here. What do I want to do? Do I want to just, if somebody else comes in, do I want to raise? Well, I'm happy just to see a flop. Okay, well, he min raises, so that makes my life very easy. I'll just call. He calls Stu Unger. Not a good flop for me. Pretty sure someone's going to bet here. There you go. Do I call though? I think I might call, but simply because right now I think I'll probably let it go now because this the sheer odds I was getting with this bounty in play too. Not that it's very big. People go over the top trying to chase bounties. So now I fold. Maybe I folded one street too late there. So Oliver gets all of it. Phew. Just for the ace. That's so funny. So hang on a sec. Just see what he had again. Yeah, just by having that ace. Wow. Ace and jacks. Yeah. Wow. Incredible. Guess I would have, but I've tied that pot. I think I tied for the high end. A terrible hand here. I'm just gonna see how this one plays out though. So there we go. He had a pretty bad hand there. It's very short though. Wow. Again, I'm in the lower reaches of the tournament, 23rd out of 29. So I raise this up. A decent hand here actually. The king's helping me here. Gonna have to call. I'm putting a really large chunk of my stack. Happily get this in here. And I'm down. Oh, I'm 70-30. I didn't realize I'd be down by that much. Now, why am I down so much on that flop? 70-30. I didn't think I could possibly fold. He has a really huge hand. I haven't been getting hands quite like that. So he's got ace two. So I very likely outcome here is I'm going to get quartered. If I don't get quartered, I might not get anything at all. So I'm in really in the shit here. You say I go back 10 seconds. See there, 71%. I'm down. I've got 29% on the flop. Okay, so with this this hand here, yes, on the flop, I'm 71-29 behind, which looks absolutely terrible. It is terrible. The only good news is that I only get scooped 31% of the time. So, um, so 69% of the time I actually at least survive. But most of that, a very good chunk of that, I get quartered. We both have the ace two, of course. He's got the flush as well. So it was 65-35 before the flop, for the money had gone in then, which it could have done. And then, wow, a bit unlucky, of course, to see him have to wake up there with that what he had there. He's also got, of course, what else has he got? I think that the pair of aces and the nut, the nut flush are enough. Anyway, so see what happens. Okay, and I end up. Oh, look at the river card I get there. Gives me gives me two pairs, gives me those kings and sixes, and I end up with 3/4 of the pot. So I'm extremely fortunate there. Yeah, I don't think there's much I could have done to avoid when he three bet me there. You know, if I'd known he had that, I would. I mean, I would have. I think I would have folded then. But can you have a read to people? Because actually, I mean, this is an interesting thing. There wasn't a lot of three betting pre-flop in this tournament. So, does that just mean they have aces all the time when they three bet pre-flop, like out of position like that? Who knows? Anyway, I escape. I do more than escape. I get very lucky. Yeah, 3/4 of the pot. So, no. We are. Now it's my turn to get aces. Unfortunately, I don't have the suitedness that you had previously. Um, let's go for the raise there, the small blind. Get called. Pretty sure I would bet this. Okay, bets sort of 65% of the pot roughly. Take it down. That's very welcome because I didn't flop well there particularly. Okay, just want to see another flop here. Now 11:15. It's not a terrible flop for me. So I think, do I bet this? Do I just check it? I just check. Oh, what do I do here? I fire out a small bet. Okay, let's try and get a little bit of money in here. That's not a great hand. Great, great. Well, if I just check this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Ugh. Okay. Trouble is I don't have the highs that beat me, right? So 6-4, obviously, and all those. But whether I should have just gone with this. Should I have just gone with it? I don't know. All these boats that beat me. It's got 3-2 or something. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we chop it up. Hmm. I guess that's okay. I don't know whether I should have just got all my chips in there because he might have been just trying something. Who knows? Anyway, it's the next hand. Tiger dicing. Look where he is now. 89,000. So you're only 23 left now. So obviously there's going to be some huge stacks in terms of number of big blinds. Or big, or in terms of what we started with, if you remember. We started with 3,000. So what have I got here? I've got the nuts. I have the nuts. What do I decide to do with it though? Decide to check raise. That's what I decide to do. Okay. Ooh. That's a little bit dangerous. I think I have to go with this. Do I decide to go with it? I don't think I can fold now. Yeah, you see again, he's got the same. The very first hand I showed in this tournament was when I flopped the nuts. Like this, I didn't have the nut low or anything approaching the nut low, and it caused me a bit of grief. And now the same problem. So now the nuts, so the flush draw out there, which there normally will be after 4 cards. My flush draw is not one of them, and the nuts is no longer what I have. Which all of these things are extremely likely to be the case. I decided to just get it all in, or as he calls me, I'm thinking, oh God. So at this point, he's got the low wrapped up. He's free rolling me here. He's free rolling me. He's got the flush. So again, I have to fade these flush cards. To fade them. So actually, I say he's got it locked up. We'll say if a 3 were to come now, what would he have? He would just have the live 3. He would be playing 7-5-4-3 ace. And I, if the 3 were to come, would be playing 6-5-4-3-2. So if the 3 came, I'd have the low. So, yeah. So I'd have the low and the high, wouldn't I? So there's completely, I'm not completely dead for either side of the pot, but I'm a slight underdog here. So it could be heading out right now. It's possible, but no, we do split it up. We do split it up. I make my board a straight. Is that correct? Could you call it a board straight? I guess you could. And he has the low, the second nut low. So here we go. Now this is, I think, maybe the best hand I get all day, all night rather. To go to the mat with this one, but he folds. It's all right. Kind of everything. Decent hand here on the button. I go 3-way. Got 2 pair, but it's nothing to get too excited about. Don't have the flush. Don't have. I really want to boat up here. Don't manage to do that. My low's pretty bad. I just fold, especially with the second player in too. Oh, I split that up, right. Not a great hand this. Probably worth. The sixes kind of mean that there are things that can give you like 3/4 of the pot. Like 2, 4, 5. Well, here you go. Here's 2, 5. So I've got a. That's a good flop for me. No doubt about that. He bets that. Got and there comes the 4. I decide to check it again. Now I've got an absolute monster. What do I decide to do? I don't think I know what I do now. I don't think it was the right thing to do. I don't think I needed to bet that much or increase it by that amount. I think I could have just gone a bit smaller there. Enough so I could have then bammed the river. That's what I needed to do. Oh well. I feel like I messed up there. And the Bear gets out of the way, and I have 76,000, but I think it could have been a lot more. It was a mistake. You have to go that big. I fold there, which I think is the right thing to do. So I think he's saying, thank you for raising so I could just fold my hand. I'm quite sure though. It's okay, he's now raised to 8,000. I have to call here. Right, I still haven't got a bounty in this bounty tournament. Despite there only being 20 left and me being in 11th place. Well, it's a good. What do I decide to do here? It's a really tough one. I think I should have called here, actually. I decided to fold. I think that's a mistake. I really think that's a mistake. I really think that. I think I made a mistake there. I got the top and bottom. Who knows what he had there? Just haven't anything here. Now it says we've been over 4 hours. Feels like it too. Past 11. Half an hour of September left. Will I make it into October? Let's see. Won't. Yeah. I have a terrible hand. I don't want to even get any form of involved here. Spending a lot of money in here. What Bear decides to do here. He just folds. Ooh, it's got a big pot that. It's the question mark. What the hell are you doing? Did he realise he just was not going to win? Interesting hand here. I just want to see a flop here with somebody else in. If somebody else hadn't come in there, if Bear hadn't come in, I'd be raising this up for sure. So I'm getting towards the business end of this. So 20 left. About 600 started. So that's a pretty decent flop for me, isn't it? Let's be honest about it. Hits it all in. Got 82% here. Make that 100. Okay, I make the straight. And I get a bounty. Isn't that wonderful? Hopefully it's going to be the first of very, very many bounties. So we go down to 3 tables. 18 left now. Finally get a bounty. That was, I must be saying, nice hand. Nice hand. It's Bam. I think Bam is a good player. Mr. Klon, 1980, which was a very, very good year. I bet somebody called him an old man. I thought, oh, that's not very nice. I'm not an old man. I was born the same year as Mr. Clon. Hmm. So let's have to bet this again, don't I? What does he do? Bet half the pot. Unfortunately, I completely brick out this river. Horrible river card. Really, that was a terrible run out for me with a hand like I had, the ace 3-6. Um, Now, I need to check monster hands on the river sometimes too. But he bet really, really small there. I don't have anything. I just have the king, and I decide to fold because my I basically have absolutely nothing. Uh, 20 to 12. Good hand here. So you want to raise this up. 9th out of 18. Oh, it is hotting up, isn't it? Managed to survive this far. Look at Bam there. Have to call because of the odds, immediate odds I'm getting. I'm going to have to call here, I think. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to fold now. And maybe I shouldn't have called the 3-bet. Maybe I should have let it go because I don't have anything. It's terrible. I don't know whether he definitely had aces there or something. Anyway, got enough here to want to see a flop. Got a suit here, which is useful too, even if it's not the nut suit. Right, so here I've got the third nut flush draw. Not fantastic. I wouldn't mind. I actually bet this. That's interesting. Because I don't. Oh, because I also have a wrap. I have well, not a wrap. Sorry, an open end. It's not a wrap. It's an open ender. So an open ender and the flush draw. There are quite a bit going for me in this hand. And here it comes. Here is now I start because now I've got the flush. I've got the third nut flush, which feels like it's worth a bet. Okay. And then the river elevates my hand to the second nut flush. So, I mean, so I bet, what about half the pot here? I don't want to go crazy. I want to call this. Especially with that river card being putting the Broadway out there too. Let's see if he's going to call me here. He does. What did he have? Let's see. Let's see what he had. You gonna see what he had? I think he had a worse flush. Anyway, I've got a pretty handy hand here. Doesn't have any high card strength, which is its real negative. You can have low boards just locked up here, a bit like this. Although it's not locked up because I don't have so my counterfeit protection's gone. I bet 2/3 of the pot. What do I want to do here? Okay, what do you do here? Whoa, I just get it all in. I don't actually. I thought it was a weird, and that's such a weird bet. There's no point in making a bet like that. I'm not saying he's going to fold. So I might as well just get my whole stack, and I didn't, which was a bit silly. Um, I just decided to call. And I hope really I'm going to get half the pot because hmm, anyway, I end up with the whole pot. Would you believe that? End up with the whole pot. Um, and now got 177. So that 10th out of 12, that is inaccurate. Um, suddenly got a lot of chips. As we head towards the break, it's just before midnight. A little break coming up, and then it will be October, and Will there be an October surprise? Let's see. I will that's the end of the second part of this little video series, and I will show you the third part shortly. Okay, I hope you like that, and you'll see part 3.